Alright, so I'm just going to show you some movies I got recently, kind of randomly. Um, Most of these came from my grandparents who had some movies and titles that they don't necessarily watch or like, or because they're more, they're older people, so they mostly use cable, and so they don't really watch Blu-rays and DVDs. They have a few of them, and it takes a lot for them to get one, and so they have a few of them. But yeah, let's start off with the one that isn't that um, Princess Diaries 1 and 2. This is the 10 year anniversary Blu-ray edition of these movies. These aren't great movies, but they're fine. I enjoy them fine enough. And why did I get these? I've mentioned this before. I'm a part of a club called the Disney Movie. It's right there, Disney Movie Awards, which is now called Disney Movie Insider Club. And occasionally they'll just have really good deals. So basically how it works, you buy a Disney movie, it comes with a code, a little piece of paper. There's also your digital copy, and you can use it for both. So it's not like you have to choose one or the other, but basically you type in the code, go to their website, and you get points. Well, these points add up, and then you can buy collectibles, posters, movies, books. Anyways, their movies are usually like 800 to 1,000 to more than that. And so they're usually not really cheap. But this one, and everyone's they're adding new stuff. I'm always checking on there. And they added these movies a couple weeks or a week or two back or something like that. And for 500 points for two movies on Blu-ray that I didn't have, and they're okay. And I enjoy watching them. And I believe this is out of print too. I was like, all right, I'll grab that. And the nice thing about it is they come with points, most of these movies. So you can just go on their website and pretty much make up the points you lose half of the time. So I'll be interested in rewatching these. Julie Andrews from, Mary Poppins is in it, and Hathaway. It's been a while since I've seen these. But yeah, it'd be interesting watching those again. Probably isn't as good as I remember, but and I don't think I've even seen the second one. I know I've seen the first though. First one we got here is a DVD. Like I said, these are the ones my grandparents didn't want. Tarzan 2. This is out of print. I think this actually goes for money. I'm not really sure, because like with some of those Disney sequels, basically like Hunchback of Notre Dame, right? They put out 1 and 2 together and things like that. They package movies together on Blu-ray. Well, Tarzan, they didn't do that. This is the only way to get it, unless you have Disney Plus, of course. But and I don't think they've ever really watched this. Tarzan 2. I don't even have Tarzan. I need to get that movie on Blu-ray, but I'm not a huge fan of Tarzan 2 or Tarzan, to be honest. Tarzan 2 is so weird, because this is a prequel, if you can see that there, and yet it's like, it's called Tarzan 2, and yeah, I don't even remember. I've seen this like once, and it wasn't awful. It wasn't horrible or anything. It was just like, okay, but you made this, and I'm not really sure why. This is like, it's kind of just a story that they didn't even need to tell or make anything about, but they did. Instead of just actually making an actual Tarzan 2, which would have made more sense. But yeah, I'm just happy to have it. Maybe I'll watch it again. Highly doubt it. But yeah, We Bought a Zoo. They didn't want this one anymore either, because they never watched this one. I'm not usually a true story movie person. I know, like, that's I feel like, I hate to use this word, but I feel like it's a normie type of movie where they always sanitize the actual true story, and they always like try to make it all upbeat and happy and fun, and it's just everybody's lives turn out great and happily ever after, but that's not really what happened in the story, and it's just irritating. But this one, is really good. It's got Scarlett Johansson and Matt Damon, and it's about this family. Like in the title, they buy a zoo, and it's obviously very um, not what actually happened in real life, but the performances and the way this movie is directed and put together, it just makes all that worth it. And sure, it's a little sanitized from what actually happened, but it's still fun. It's got a great cast, and just it's a really charming movie. Not a great movie, but just a really charming movie. And I often go back. My family and we own this movie, and I often go back to it. So now I own it in my own personal collection on Blu-ray, which I've actually been trying to get this one on Blu-ray for a while now. I love this movie quite a bit, so that's a good one to add to the collection. I don't even know why they had this one, Inside Out. They do not like this movie. I think they've tried to watch it once and they just couldn't get into it. I don't know. I'm not. I saw this back when it came out. How old was I? Like 6 years from now. So I was like 11. It was enjoyable. I guess it didn't really. Everybody flipped out because basically the year before we didn't have a Pixar movie, and every year before that was a sequel, and so they're all like, it's an original Pixar movie, and everybody flipped out. And I don't think this film is awful or anything. It's just, there's a lot to this film that you can look at and be like, well, this is certainly one of those Pixar movies where I look at it and I go, this is certainly more kid-oriented than most Pixar movies are. All Pixar movies are kids' movies, technically. Even Soul. And but this one, you could just feel that a lot more in the writing and just the humor. But there's some really great stuff in here, original, really imaginative storytelling, but just, I don't know. And just the pacing is a little weird in this film. And there's that major plot hole, and spoilers, I guess, if you've never seen this movie. But there's a big event in this movie where, the whole plot of the movie is that our characters, Joy and Sadness, get lost. And there's a part where they show that they can shoot memories back up to headquarters. But they never really bring that up as if and explain why they can't just do that. So it feels like most of the movie you're just watching characters do this story because the plot says they have to do things this way. And it feels very strange, and I don't really care for this movie too much. It's a Pixar. It's not like Pixar's worst. I think it's their worst original film, besides like I guess Onward, The Good Dinosaur, and Brave. But it's definitely like with those movies. I think. I do think the voice acting from Bill Hader, Amy Poehler, Lewis Black, Mindy Kaling, and just so many others is great in this. The Riley's First Date short is pretty bad on this Blu-ray. I've seen that a few times. The Lava short that came out with this movie is excellent. I love that short. So yeah, and then this one they didn't want either. Never watched this. This is a steelbook, which I can't believe they didn't want a steelbook. It's a Clint Eastwood movie, American Sniper. Don't really know too much about this one. They still got a digital copy in here. That's weird. Yeah, this thing looks like... Wow, this thing looks like it's never been watched once. So, interesting. But yeah, actually, I've never actually took a minute to take a look at the steelbook because it's just like it's a Blu-ray steelbook. Sure, I'll take it. I'll have it. But actually, should have though. Look at that. That's really nice. That's really really nice. Yeah, but let me know if you've seen this movie, what you think about it. I've heard some things about it. I just never watched it myself. Um, yeah, interesting. Is that Who is that on the front? Is that Bradley Cooper? Because when I first picked up this steelbook, I thought that was Matt Damon, but now I'm looking at that. That does not look like Matt Damon at all. But yeah, I don't know. Never seen this movie. One I will be having to check out, and then I'm just gonna kind of list some things I pre-ordered right now, so I can just kind of mention some cool things I pre-ordered. Because I don't really know how to fit that into a video by itself. I pre-ordered, so I have reviews up on my main channel, Chan's Movie Vlog channel, for Light of the Jedi, and A Test of Courage, the new Star Wars High Republic books. Well, we have Star Wars High Republic Into the Dark, which is coming out February 2nd. Now, that does not mean my pre-order will show up by that date. In fact, I really don't expect it to, but as soon as I get that book, I will be reading through it and recording a video about it. I've been really invested in these Star Wars High Republic books and going through all these books. And that's one I'm very, very excited about reading and going through. Just a fantastic book. And Light of the Jedi is fantastic. Everybody should read it. But yeah, I haven't read Into the Dark because it's not out yet. I think it might be out digitally, but I don't buy books or movies digitally. So I prefer physical copies of everything. But yeah, that is coming out. And then I pre-ordered Small Soldiers on Blu-ray, which has never been on Blu-ray before. I own a DVD of that movie. I think it was a UK or Australia Blu-ray that was out, but not in America. It's never had a Blu-ray release. Small Soldiers is not a great movie. It's a guilty pleasure. I'm a big fan of Joe Dante, who directed like The Burbs, Gremlins, and things like that. And I really enjoy his movies for the most part. Some of his movies are kind of but he also directed Looney Tunes Back in Action, which I really like. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed those movies. And so, definitely excited to have that movie on Blu-ray for the first time. I pre-ordered it like at the beginning of January, so I was like, so that comes out February 2nd. Again, probably will not show up by then, but I definitely will be doing a video on that probably when I get it in the mail. Because that's a movie I've been very, very excited about getting. One of my favorite guilty pleasure movies, and I've never seen it high definition. I still own it on DVD in a double feature with The Explorers, which was also directed by Joe Dante, and I'm hoping that since Small Soldiers get a Blu-ray, that movie will also get a Blu-ray, and then I can kind of get rid of that DVD, which probably won't happen, but whatever. And I also pre-ordered, these are actually both Paramount releases. Good Burger is also coming out on Blu-ray for the first time, which I have been very, very excited about. Good Burger is one of my favorite movies. It's not a great movie. It's another kind of guilty pleasure movie. It is my favorite Nickelodeon movie. I know that's not saying a lot because they do not make the most quality movies, but whatever. And I've always just loved that movie, and I rewatch it all the time, quote it all the time. And I bought it for years I said I'm not gonna buy this movie on DVD. I'm not gonna buy it. They're probably gonna put it out on Blu-ray. Shout Factory or some company's gonna put it out on Blu-ray, and then they didn't do that. And it waited so long that I was like, the DVD's $3. I ordered it off of Amazon, owned it in my collection for about a year, and then they announced a Blu-ray, and I was immediately ecstatic, and I put in my pre-order, and that comes out February 16th. Again, probably will not get it by then, but yeah, that's another pre-order for me. I also pre-ordered Casper: A Spirited Beginning. Now this is a DVD, not a Blu-ray. Basically, when the Casper 90s film came out with Christina Ricci and I believe Bill Pullman. Fun fact, I used to always think Bill Pullman in that movie was Robin Williams, and it is not till recently that I learned that it's not Robin Williams. I don't know how I thought these two people were the same at all. But anyways, that movie had some prequels that were only released to DVD and VHS. Casper and Wendy and Casper: A Spirited Beginning. Casper: A Spirited Beginning was the first one, and they went out of print. So Best Buy put out a steelbook of Casper on Blu-ray, and you could get those with it for the 25th anniversary or 20th anniversary, something like that. Well, that steelbook was limited numbers. It kind of went quick. I noticed that most stores only got in one, from what I saw, and I know very few people who have that steelbook because they didn't advertise it very much. They just kind of put it out there, and I'm not like a huge fan of the Casper movie. I think it's all right. I do appreciate it a lot. Like, I like that this movie was willing to like kind of go into talk about death and things, which most kids' movies probably wouldn't do that much. And I enjoy that aspect of that movie a lot. So I appreciate that movie. But yeah, I want this movie to complete my Casper set. So I also don't see a pre-order up for Casper and Wendy. So I'm hoping that if by pre-ordering it and hopefully seeing if it sells well, I could show that there's interest in that movie, and they could put that one out too, so I can finish my Casper set and have all three movies. Never seen Casper: Spirited Beginning before. I'm excited to watch it. That comes out February 23rd, and again, probably will not get it on that date, but we will see. So that's it for you. This video, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Do all that, and we'll be talking next time.